everyone, it's Cass. Welcome back to my channel, What Cass Read. Today, I am back reviewing some stuff, and what better review to jump into than my review and thoughts on the Tawny Man Trilogy written by Robin Hobb. So the Tawny Man Trilogy is the third trilogy amongst the entire gigantic set of books that is known as The Realm of the Elderlings written by Robin Hobb. The whole series can be sectioned off into different trilogies and chunks, so this is the third trilogy of books, and that includes book number 1, which is Fool's Errand, book number 2, which is The Golden Fool, and book number 3 of the trilogy is called Fool's Fate. The big question of whether or not if you can jump into this book series, if you have not read the 6 books that came before these, the answer that I'm going to give you is no, you can't. The first 2 trilogies of the series are the Farseer Trilogy and the Live Ship Traders Trilogy, and those ones can be read interchangeably. I've often said that if you are just interested in picking up Robin Hobb, you don't want to get invested in 16 whole books, but you want to know what she's all about, the Live Ship Traders Trilogy is going to be your jam. But if you do want to see the story from the beginning, you have to pick up the Farseer Trilogy, and you need to read the Farseer Trilogy before you can even pick this book up. Fifth Chivalry Farseer is our main character, and he has been living in this self-imposed exile after the events that took place of the first trilogy. And he's been living alone for a number of years. He's been living with his wolf named Night Eyes, and he's been living with a young boy named Hap, who he has been raising as his foster son. There have been rumblings in the kingdom that there has been this underground secretive group called the Piebalds creating unrest in the kingdom. Fifth Chivalry has been called back to the castle so that they may enlist his services once more, and then the events take place from there. Now we're going to get into some serious Robin Hobb geekdom, because this is The Willful Princess and the Piebald Prince. This is a novella, and this is not necessarily a transitional book that'll take you from trilogy to trilogy, but it's more of a supplemental reading novella, and the events of the Piebalds, this unruly group, you'll get a lot of background information about the Piebalds in this novella if you really truly want to know the origins of the Piebalds and where they got that name from. It comes from here. The Piebalds created a gigantic mess when it came to these 3 books. So it is good information to have, not really necessary for this trilogy, but if you go as hard on Robin Hobb as I do, it's like mandatory reading for Robin Hobb fans, I feel. But as far as unspoiler thoughts that I can give to you, I truly felt that Fool's Errand was like a love letter to Farseer fans. This was a love letter to Robin Hobb fans because I felt like this book ended up being the conclusion to the Farseer trilogy that I wanted for Fitz, that I didn't get for Fitz in book 3. And now this book really felt like it wrapped it up. And then these 2 books felt like we were kicking off on a brand new adventure. This whole trilogy is also written in first person from Fitz's perspective, and we are taken back into a slower vibe that we got from Assassin's Apprentice, Royal Assassin, Assassin's Quest. It was a really slow vibe because it was the day-to-day life and the day-to-day thoughts, truly the day-to-day thoughts of what happened with Fifth Chivalry. And when we jumped into the Live Ship Traders Trilogy, she switched it over to a third-person perspective, multiple POVs, and it was a lot more action, a lot more excitement, and then she really slows it back down for this trilogy. If you're not prepared for the kind of character development that Robin Hobb I feel like is her best quality as a writer, then jumping back into this series might be completely wrong for you. You might decide that you actually hate her books because of how fast-paced Live Ship was and how she slows it back down for Fitz's life. I think her writing is beautiful. You're never going to hear me say a bad word about it. I feel like this trilogy is really hard to sum up individually, book by book by book. It's really one whole story split into 3 different books. And to be quite honest, there's not that much action that happens in this whole trilogy because it's one gigantic story. So just be ready for the slowing down and how Robin Hobb takes her time talking through what Fitz is thinking and what Fitz is going through. and it was a joy to read as a lover of Robin Hobb. So I feel like there's not that much more that I can say that's going to be in the non-spoilery video. So we should probably end this here. And then y'all can join me back in the spoiler video. So you know how these videos end. I'm going to talk to you later. Bye.